Hey everyone, it's Matt with jinX Brothers. Today I wanted to make a video of the top 20 pennies that you can actually find in your change from a bank in a box. These are not going to include strange off stamps. They're not going to include unusual things that you're not going to traditionally find. But we're going to have pennies that, as you go through your box, your rolls, your loose change, you might actually find. This list was created by looking at what was available on eBay, looking at the heirs and varieties from PCGS, and just making a conclusion on my observations. This is not an official list. This might differ from what you believe are the best 20 pennies, but in my eyes, these are the top 20 pennies from value that you can actually find. When I'm talking from a pricing aspect, I will be giving you a spread from G4 up to MS65, of course, with any coin. Once you get past MS65, it can be more valuable, and in a lot of these cases, it can be much more valuable. But seeing that you are going through your change or a bank box, it's less likely to find an MS65 plus. Not that you can't find it, but I wanted to give you values based upon what you actually might find. So join me today as I go through my list of the top 20 pennies you can actually find in pocket change. Coming in at number 20 is the 1909 VDB 1 cent. This coin has a value of about $10 to $165 in your average circulated condition. The high value for this coin would be upwards of $22,000. This coin is not going to be easy to find, but it does not mean that you cannot find it. Coming in at number 19 is actually a variety. The 1999 wide AM. This coin will fetch between $80 to $200 if you find it in an AU to a mint state 65. While this wide AM variety is available in 1998, 99, and 2000, the 1999 seems to be the most elusive and the hardest to find. So thus it fetches a little bit higher value, and in some cases a lot higher value. I have personally found some 1998s. I have never found a 1999 to date, but I hope to add this to my collection, and I continue to look for all my wide AM possibilities. Coming in at number 18 is another error, a 1984 DDO, or double dia verse. This is known as the double ear. This coin in AU will bring about 20 bucks. If you get it into a higher mint state, it can be worth over 200. This has fetched upwards of $4,000 in MS68. Coming in at number 17 is another error. 1983 double die reverse, FS 801. This coin will bring you roughly $20 to $250 depending on condition. It is fetched as much as $7,000 in MS68 red. Number 16, back to a traditional penny, a 1922D. They minted over 7 million of these. The top pop is 66 plus, but if you find one in your pocket change, it can fetch you between $20 and $700. Again, the top pop on this sold for $19,975. Coming in at 15 is the 1931S. This is a low mintage coin. They just minted 866,000 of these. It will fetch between $60 at G4 and upwards of $350 at your higher mint state grades. They have fetched up to $6,000 at auction. Number 14, I did a combo for this one because it's the same year and it's slightly different, but it's kind of the same. The 1946 S over D, FS 511. This coin is valued at somewhere between $35 and $400. It could be higher in a better mint state, or if it is red. I also included the 1946S inverted mint mark. This has a slightly different style to it. It's FS 501. But because it was regarding the mint marks, I figured this might be good to, piece together. It's slightly less valuable. In an in a mint state condition, it's going to fetch between $100 and $300. Coming in at number 13, the 1911S. This is a lower mintage, but not necessarily a key date. They minted a little over 4 million of these coins. It will fetch between $35 and $1,000. Again, condition is king. In MS66, this coin fetched $27,600. Coming in at number 12 is the 1943 D over D. This is FS 501. You're able to fetch between $75 and $1,000, with the highest auction for this being $21,275. Pretty good for a fairly simple error. Coming in at number 11 is the 1926S. This coin graded at G4 will get you about $9. Get it up towards the high mint state, and it can fetch you over $2,000. Again, if you're able to get this in a red brown or a red, you can fetch a little more. The top pop for this is a 65, and the top auction for this one sold for $120,000. Now on to our top 10. Number 10, the 1924D. This will fetch you roughly $35 in G4 and will fetch you hundreds of dollars in a mint state condition. The top recorded auction for this is at $19,550. The top pop for this is 66, which is estimated at $50,000. Number 9 is the 1909S. You heard me right, just the plain old 1909S. This coin will fetch you roughly $80 in G4 and up to $700 in a high mint state. The top recorded auction for this is $69,000 at MS67. This is a low mintage coin. They just made 1,825,000 of these. Number 8, back to some heirs. The 1944 D/S, which is FS 511. This will fetch you around 50 bucks in G4 and upwards of $700 if you can find it in MS65. The top auction rate for this was a MS67 Plus Red, which sold for almost $50,000. They minted over 430 million of these, so there's a good chance, if you look hard, you can find that error in some of those coins. Number 7, the 1972 DDO FS 104. This will fetch you 10 bucks in G4. So you don't have to find it in great shape, but being a 1972 coin with over almost, I should say, 3 billion minted, there's probably a pretty good chance you can find it in decent shape. In AU, it will fetch you about $200. And in high mint state, it can fetch you up to $500. The top pops, once you get into 66 or 67, will fetch you thousands, with the top rate being $14,400. Number 6, the 1909 S VDB. Yep, this is the big one most people think of, and it's all the way down at number 6. While at just G4 you can fetch 600 bucks for this, it does not change dramatically like some of the other coins once you get into the higher mint states. Mint state 65 will get you about 3,500 bucks. Now in top mint states, we're talking serious money. You can look at probably $70,000 for a high mint state red, and the top auction for this was an MS67 at $117,000. Number 5, another heir, 1936 DDO. This coin will fetch you around 50 bucks in G4, but if you can find it in MS65, it'll fetch $4,000. Top pop for this particular heir is 67, which was able to fetch $45,000. Number 4 is your 1914 D. This coin in G4 will get you around $150. Now, when you find this in even AU, we're talking thousands of dollars. And if you can find it in high mint state, it will get you over $5,000. MS65 brown is estimated at $67.50. And if you can find that now in red, you're talking about $14,000. The top auction for this coin is $158,000. Number 3. This is a big one. I think most people would think this would be higher to the top because it has sold for a lot of money. The 1955 DDO. Now, while this error is pretty blatant and probably picked out of change, you might still find one, and some people do. But the error is pretty dramatic. You can actually find it without scoping it. It's visible with the naked eye. In VF20, it's worth over $1,000. If you can find it in a higher mint state, we're talking thousands. And if you can find it in red, we're talking big dollars, closer to $30,000 to $40,000. The top pop for this is 66. The highest auction rate is 65 plus red at $114,000. Number 2 brings us the 1917 DDO. This coin will bring you around 80 bucks in G4, but it will bring you almost $10,000 if you can find it in MS65. The highest auction rate for this is about $120,000, and that was for an MS67 Plus. And last but not least, number 1, the 1922 No D Strong Reverse. This coin will bring you almost $500 in G4. If you can find it in a mint state, it'll bring you between $10,000 to $20,000. The estimated top pop for this will bring you about $120,000. Some honorable mentions, because at the beginning I said I was not going to pick weird coins, would be the 1943 copper. They have found these in both PD and S. There's about 30 of these currently that have been found, and they're estimated to be worth about $1 million a piece. The record auction for this was $1.7 million in 2010. And its stepbrother would be the 1944D steel cent. There's only a handful of these known, and they're estimated to be worth about $40,000 a coin, with the highest auction rate for this being $115,000. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helped. Just know that there's a lot of coins out there that you can find in your loose change that can help you make a couple extra bucks. Below, I've included my cheat sheet. The cheat sheet that I currently have out there is for what I consider your modern cents. It goes from today back to when the wheats start. I will be putting out another series that includes the wheats, but this is what you're going to find in your pocket change, and so I wanted to help collectors and new collectors out by providing a sheet that had a lot of the different heirs and varieties and coins that are of value listed and what to look for. Hopefully it helps you. I appreciate you taking time to come out and see me today. Make sure to give that a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Consider subscribing if you're not a member already. I know a number of people that watch my videos are currently not subscribed, and I would love to have you on board. I appreciate your time. Have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next video.